Hello and welcome to another Excel tips video. I'm Sumit Bansal and in today's video I'm going to show you 3 easy ways to calculate ratios in Excel. So let's get started. Here I have this data set where I have the width values in column A and the height value in column B, and I want to get the ratio here in column D. Now in this case the ratio is going to be something like 16:9, because what happens is when you calculate a ratio, it just does not give you these two numbers. It actually divides these numbers by the highest possible number with which both these numbers can be divided, and then it gives you the ratio. So what we are going to do is first we are going to identify that highest number that divides both these numbers, and that is called a GCD, which is the greatest common divisor. Now thankfully Excel already has an inbuilt function to calculate GCD. So what we are going to do is use the GCD function, and here we are going to give it both of these numbers. So this number comma this number, and now when I hit enter it gives me 100, which means that 100 is a number that is going to divide both of these numbers, and I can drag this down and it gives me the GCD for all these pairs. So for these two, the GCD is 160. For these two, the GCD is 480. Now, if I have to calculate the ratio, what I'm going to do is simply find out that lowest value, which is this, divided by the GCD value. Then I'm going to append a colon. So to do that, I'm going to use an ampersand. So ampersand, then colon in double quotes, and then again ampersand, and then divide height by GCD again. And now when I hit enter, it gives me 16:9. I can drag this down for all these values. So this is a really fast and quick way to calculate a ratio in Excel. Now in this case, if you do not want to have a GCD column, then you can change this formula, and instead of using this column with a separate formula, you can instead use the formula itself here. So I can do this A2 divided by the GCD of these two numbers, then ampersand colon, and then B2 divided by the GCD of these two numbers. And now when I hit enter, it is again going to give me the same result, but I do not need these values. I can get rid of the GCD column here and I would still have my ratio. Another fast way to calculate ratio without using any formula is by using custom number formatting. So here again I have the same data, and here I'm not going to use any function. I'm going to do a simple division. So this value divided by this value, and here it gives me these values here in decimal. Now I want to convert these into ratio. So I'm going to then go to the home tab, and here in the number group, click on this small dialog box launcher. And when I do that, it is going to open the format cells dialog box. I can also do the same thing by selecting all these cells, then hold the control key and press the 1 key. And when you do that, it again opens the format cells dialog box. Now here in the number tab, I'm going to click on custom and then specify the formatting. Now the formatting I specify here would be such that it is going to give me the ratio, and at the same time it is going to do that division where 16 and 900 both are going to be divided by the greatest common divisor. And I'm not going to use any formula. It is going to be done using custom number formatting itself. So here the format I'm going to use is hash or pound, then forward slash, and then hash. And that's it. Now when I click OK, you can see all these numbers have been changed into the ratio. Now, one obvious difference is that in this case, I had a colon in between, which is the most accepted way of writing ratios. And in this case, it is going to be a forward slash. Unfortunately, you cannot change this, at least with this method. It is always going to give you the ratio where it is going to have a forward slash. But then again, it is a very fast way of doing it. And if you are not stuck up on having that colon, then this is again a very fast way to get the ratio in this format. Now, what if you do want to have the colon instead of the forward slash? Then let me show you another way to do this. Here again, I have the same data set, and I am going to use a formula in this case where I am going to use the same custom number formatting I showed you earlier, but then somehow try and remove that forward slash with the colon. So here I'm going to use the text function. Within text function takes two arguments, the value that we want to format. So in this case, the value would be this number divided by this number, and then we need to specify the format, which is going to be in double quotes. So in double quotes, my format is going to be hash divided by hash. And now when I hit enter, it gives me the same value here that I got with custom number formatting, and I can apply it for all these cells. But in this case, I do not want the forward slash, I want the colon. So I'm going to then use the substitute function. And here, this is going to be my text, because substitute function takes three arguments. the text in which you want to make the substitute, the old text that we want to remove, which is the forward slash in this case, and the new text, which is the colon. So here I'm going to come here and specify forward slash, which is the text that I want to remove from the result of the text function. And then I want to replace it with a colon. Now when I hit enter, it gives me the ratio in the right format and I can use this. Now I've covered all these three methods. One thing that I want to specify is that in the custom formatting method where we got this with the forward slash, one good thing about this method is that in the backend, these are still numbers. In both of these methods, the GCD method where we created this formula using ampersand and colon, this has now become a text string. You cannot use these numbers in calculations. Same is the case with text formula here. This is now a text string. But in custom number formatting, these are still numbers. If you want, you can use them in formula, in calculations, because in the backend, this value still remains the value that we got, which was 1.777778. It still remains that value. It has not been converted into a text string. So this is a benefit of using custom number formatting. But the drawback is that you get a forward slash. So these are three methods that you can use to quickly calculate ratios in Excel. That's it in this video. I hope you found this useful. Also, if you're liking these videos, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and click on the bell icon so that you never miss out on any new Excel tips video I come up with. Thank you and have a nice day.